Start the engine.
It's not going to do any good.
Will you start the engine? Hear that?
Yeah, it's an engine.
Well, rev it up. Get the feel of it.
Hi, my name is Doug Stevenson, and this is a 1976 Ford Grand Torino that was originally used in the television series Starsky and Hutch. You're probably wondering why I own this car. Well, actually, I own two of these cars. They are the two cars that were left over when the series ended. The other car I own is the bucket seat car that was part of the 2nd through 4th season also. I also had collected cars previous to this. I had one of the original 1000 that Ford built in commemoration of the series back when it was on the air. Ford did produce those with their own stripe on there and sold them to collectors at that point in time. But I did have to, unfortunately, sell that car to get a hold of these when I did buy them.
Slide over, I'll drive.
No, wait a second. I'll give it a whirl.
This particular car shows quite a bit of damage from its use. If we come around to the front of the car here, you will notice that we have some damage on the bumpers where the camera mount was added. The hood has some damage on it too, possibly from those mounts. If we come around over to this side of the car, you will notice quite a bit of damage on the insides of the doors here from where they always sprung the doors open pretty fast to get out to catch the bad guys. Down here, we even have quite a bit of metal actually missing in the chunk of the door there. On this fender, there should be a Grand Torino insignia. Notice that's been filled in, covered up, probably from most of the damage that was done during filming. I'm sure they did quite a bit of body work on these cars. Inside the car is fairly well loaded also. We have power windows, power door locks, tilt steering wheel, cruise control, AM/FM 8-track player, automatic climate control. Even the bench seat in this particular car is power. The full bench seat moves. In the series, between the two different cars that were used, one had bucket seats and one had bench seats. The reason for this is that David Soul would slide across this vinyl bench seat into Paul Michael Glaser whenever they did sharp cornering. So they managed to talk the producers into changing the seats in one of the cars to have bucket seats. That way he could kind of stay in position without having to slide into Paul Michael Glaser.
Well, we lost them.
Underneath the door, you will notice we even have a camera mount still welded to the underside of the frame there where they had a camera mounted on the side of the car here for filming. When we come up here to the top of the car, there's quite a bit of paint chips on the roof right here, just primarily on the passenger side where the red bubble light was thrown up there by Hutch. And also on the back part of this roof, you can see all the dents and creases where it looks like probably Starsky was sitting on the roof of the car at one or more points in time. As far as I know, the rims that are on this car are still original to the series. Same with the tires, actually. I believe these tires are the original tires that they used. And if you also notice on these cars, you can see it on the front and even on the back here, these filler panels that they put between the bumpers are silver instead of red. It's my understanding that when Ford made these cars, they painted just the red part of it, but the particular shade of red that was used was not factory red at the time. It wasn't used on any Torino. So when they painted a car a special color, the car's always got these silver panels instead of the actual painted panels. Back when this car was built, it came with a fairly good size engine for the type of car that it is. Back in those days, a Grand Torino was really actually considered a mid-size car. It wasn't even a full-size car. By today's standards, of course, this would be a full-size car. This car originally came from the factory with a 460 cubic inch V8 engine. From my understanding, the series, they really didn't modify too much of the engine. When I got this car, though, the engine had been modified by a previous owner with a lot hotter cam and carburetor and so on and so forth in it. I don't know exactly what all was built into it, but it's a fairly good size engine for this size car too. I've owned both of these cars since around 1997 was when I got a hold of them from a private collector. And both of these cars are also Fords, which is a plus for me because I've always been a Ford man. I've driven Fords all my life, and I've liked the series Starsky and Hutch. I believe that both of these cars are a piece of pop culture, so this is just another plus for me.
Well, what'd you think? Huh?
It's all right.
All right. Hey, this is one quick car.
Yeah, it's fast. There's a lot of fast cars.
No, not fast. Quick, there's a difference. I mean, with that tuned suspension, that trick motor, and the 4.5s in the rear end.
Starsky. It's red.
Give me those.